I request Mr. Hemang Oza from JSW to give his comments.
The topic is steel a preferred material. Unlike other developed countries where the manufacturing economy shifted to the servicing industry, India shifted from service to manufacturing, and here the opportunity lies for steel. In fact, the largest opportunity to create the infrastructure, as Mr. Sharma said, that outside the factory, the Indian manufacturing industry is not as efficient as what it should be. And this is basically because of the lack of infrastructure. And here there lies the opportunity for the Indian steel industry to displace RCC with steel. And that's where we can increase over 67% of the steel consumption is infra. If we are able to shift the RCC usage to steel usage, it would become a preferred material with the green steel norms as well as the life cycle coming into the picture, and gradually, as Mr. Sharma said, that we should push the life cycle concept as much as possible. The steel will become more and more popular to be used with ultra high strength steel, with welding technologies developing, with pollution norms becoming more and more stringent, water not available for RCC to be cured, the sand becomes the largest natural resource which has been excavated by the humankind, will make the steel more and more popular for infrastructure. As we said that the population is going to grow. There almost 65% of the Indian population is below 35, and they would need more and more transportation systems. So as Gupta sir said, that the airports like railway stations or bus stations are a reality now. This makes more and more steel usage viable, possible and economical. I feel that if the efforts are in right direction, steel would definitely be a preferred material and maybe most consumed material in infrastructure segment. What we need to do is, today if we speak to any architect or any engineer, as Gupta sir said, that most of the architects or engineers don't know how to use this steel and what kind of steels are available. So unless we integrate academia with the industry and make a new pedigree who can use this steel, who knows how to use this steel and what are the grades of steel, we will not be able to make this steel as preferred material. The moment we integrate academics along with the steel education, we would be able to make the steel as we would be able to change the scenario, and steel would be a preferred material. That's what I believe. Thank you.
So many of the speakers before me, Gupta ji and everyone else, already have explained why steel should be a preferred source. My 2 cents would be that GDP is at 7 to 8%, and steel, as already explained earlier, will be remaining at the same level. At Tata Steel, of course, we are looking to expand capacities with the confidence that the government and all the projects being announced will keep the steel consumption on the rising trend. So we have invested in our long products units in Ludhiana, which is a scrap-based melting unit, also acquired Neelachal Ispat. So we are trying to increase the capacity there as well. Also I would also say that we are also seeing that in the construction industry, especially like Hemang ji has said, that replacing RCC, while tough, we will have to integrate our architects and engineers also. While our discussions with our customers have always said that the designers are not aware of the welding and the steel grades required, we'll have to involve IITs and other academia to help increase consumption of high strength steels in construction. Although automotive is leading in this front, usage of high strength steel, automotive is one segment where steel is being used from, let's say, strength of 270 megapascal up to. Steel will always remain a choice of material for the car designers. As already explained, life cycle of steel, we will have to look at greenhouse emissions as an overall basis. Steel always will remain a very low cost material for these designers. Giving you an example, the greenhouse emission of the total life cycle of steel is 2.6 till the life of the car, let's say 15 years. If made with aluminium or magnesium, it will be around 50. So we'll have to look at that. So, as Tata Steel, we have already explained earlier that we are looking to be close to 40 million ton by 2030. So, we are having confidence in this Indian steel market to achieve this number. Thank you.
First, Mr. Amit Chendelia from AMS may kindly give his views.
Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow panelists, as everyone brilliantly explained why steel should be the preferred choice of material, I would not like to repeat what has been said. I would like to take this opportunity to take you through the journey what India is on and what our competitors like China has already been through and how we can do something differently by addressing our challenges, our ambitions, and because every country has its own route or path, we cannot simply copy any other country's path. So just to give a sense, the steel has projected itself as a growth leader and India remains the only bright spot. As we talk of growth of about 7.5 or 8% in India, while the world is struggling to remain around 2%. So, and we see that the per capita steel consumption has grown from about 66 or less in 2017 to now 76 plus in 3-4 years time. It is unprecedented. The sudden spark has not come easy. The government, of course, we have our requests from steel sector what government can do more, but we must give credit. What has been done has not been less. It has resulted in that steel penetration in very short span. Government infrastructure, in terms of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana or National Infrastructure Pipeline or electrification or tap water for each household or Gati Shakti. There are so many projects, pardon me for forgetting, Make in India. So that is bringing a lot of investments and giving lot many jobs, quality jobs, and of course these are all steel intensive investments, which is creating demand, growing demand for steel, and not only the base quality steels, even higher grade steels, which is also compelling the steel producers to go beyond their run-of-the-mill products and spend on research and innovation, research and development, and come up with better products every year. If we see the major reason, in addition to what government has done, which has helped in increasing the steel consumption, I would say there are certain application segments which were either were not there or were not so big in consumption. So if we see currently 60% is contributing, the construction and the infrastructure is contributing to the steel consumption, manufacturing and automotive jointly would be around 17 to 18%. But if we see the projections by 2031, when the demand is likely to reach about 230 million tons from currently 120 million ton, we would see a drastic shift in this percentage, where automotive is going to play a vital role. From current 8 to 10%, it will grow close to 18 to 19%. And EV will play, EV electric vehicles will play a very important role. So about 10 million vehicles is expected to be sold, EV vehicles are to be sold by 2030. So that's a huge number, and the industry has to gear itself up to meet the demand of lightweighting and high strength material, because EV vehicles typically, because the load of the battery, they require high strength and low weight steel. So coming back to the ratio of these industry, what they are contributing, India is grossly short on the manufacturing and automotive. If we compare ourselves with China, the manufacturing and the automotive is close to 40% the contribution. And that is the reason if you see in 1990s, India and China per capita income were similar levels. But now we see that the gap has increased. We are around $2,500 and China is almost touching $10,000. So how did this happen? So if you see from 90s, China, they started on the path of manufacturing. They have become a powerhouse in manufacturing. So that is the way we, some things if we want to copy, we can copy from China. We have to focus on quality manufacturing and we have to invest heavily on manufacturing. No developed country has grown without the help of manufacturing. So currently manufacturing is giving us around 14-15% share in GDP. It has to reach to beyond 20 or I would say 25%. Then only we will be able to establish ourselves or project ourselves as a reliable manufacturing hub. COVID gave us a chance. It was an unfortunate event, but the COVID compelled the world to think beyond China. So the supply chain disruptions or the reliabilities of Chinese suppliers, so all these things have been giving us an opportunity. It is up to us to grab these opportunity by both hands or to let others take those opportunities.
Another example, my crystal ball says, the solar, you're all aware that solar manufacturers give a guarantee of 25 years, but they don't undertake the guarantee for the structure which is under the solar cells. उनको देनी पड़ेगी. They realize it, life cycle costing will make the right choice of material so that both the things they go hand in hand for 25 years. I strongly believe that the way the sensitization towards the stainless solutions is coming, steel and within steel, stainless steel, they are going to play a very, very vital role. Those applications which were not even heard of, they will give us more opportunities. So inorganic growth is going to be there and we need to get up.
In my view, automotive industry and the infrastructure industry are facing two challenges. One is weight reduction in infrastructure by virtue of the steel cost, that if the lesser steel is used for the same strength, then it can compete with RCC. In automotive industry, because of the overall weight of the vehicle. So in both the industries, AHSS and ultra high strength steels are going to play a major role, and we have to work towards these two grades as much as possible. As Gupta Sahab rightly said that earlier 250 and 350 or 450 grades were considered to be the specialized grades. Today the YS up to 700 MPa is available, and which will reduce the overall weight of the vehicle as well as the overall weight of the infrastructure projects also. That will make the steel, the carbon footprints lesser because less transportation is required, less steel is required. So overall carbon footprint of that particular project will go down, and that will make the project viable in terms of cost as well as the footprints, carbon footprints. That is one part. The second is the sour gas application or the saline atmosphere application steel is going to play a major role. As the oil resources are getting depleted on the earth, we have started exploring the oil reserves in the sea, and which would require a different kind of steel, that is sour gas steel, which needs a specific chemistry to tackle the sour gas applications. In addition to that, a lot of structures are going to be installed in the sea. Again, offshore structures are going to be installed where the sour gas application steels are going to be used. Most important is the solar application as well as the wind application. Currently in India, wind applications is mainly onshore. No offshore wind mills are still installed, but the government has planned 20,000 megawatt plans for Gujarat and almost similar for Tamil Nadu, and this will increase. With this, the sour gas application material would be used. Unfortunately, we have not reached to, as Indian steel industry, we have not reached to that level wherein we can produce bulk sour gas steel. We need to work towards that area, and if we are able to work, we will be able to harness the potential of sour gas. in addition to these two, steel has a corrosion problem that is not there in some of the materials. So nanotechnology as well as induced steel as well as the coatings are going to coating friendly steel are going to be what you call technology of the day. If we are able to produce this steel and invest some kind of R&D in coating technology, the steel will become more and more viable, sustainable and long-lasting material. This will make all the projects viable and steel will become better and better for the use of infrastructure as well as in other applications. Thank you.
What kind of changes are expected in the coming years in grades and thicknesses? So I'd like to touch upon majorly 2-3 industries like automotive. Like Mr. Hemant has already told that advanced high strength, ultra high strength steels are being thought of by car makers. Just to give you an example, previously around 8 years or 9 years back, a SUV or a hatchback had only 10 to 12% of advanced high strength steel. Advanced high strength steel means any steel with more than 590 tensile strength. Now it has gone up to 50-60%, in some cases up to 80% in few Indian cars. For example, I can give you an example of Tata Motors, which has more than 70%. Likewise, there is a shift in the industry to move to advanced coatings, even in the automotive industry. Few car makers are moving from cold rolled to galvanized steels. This is a big change. Apart from that, on galvanized there is a passivation secondary coating. We are also investing in new coating technologies in our galvanizing lines to on galvanized steel, so that they are ready to form, ready to paint and have a good antimicrobial properties as well. Apart from automotive steel, the main advantage which steel has is the Young's modulus. The alternates to steel have very less Young modulus. So to compensate for this, we'll have to increase thickness. So that is not the case with steel. So you can go thinner and thinner, and with sufficient heat treatment, you can achieve very high strength. So that is one advantage. For example, closures of automotive vehicles are now going up to 0.55 mm thickness, which was earlier 0.8, 0.9. So that is only being possible because of the advances in technologies in the steel making and rolling and the heat treatment facilities in the continuous annealing lines currently. So apart from automotive, there is construction, of course. Now YST 355 tubes and pipes are commonplace. Tubes and pipes currently are at 6-7 million ton market, which is expected to be 10 million ton. In this, there is a shift from YST 240 grade now to 300, now it is 355. And very high aspect ratio tubes are also possible. With the sudden construction boom, so there is lot of tubes and pipes which are getting used in the market, which allows for hollow section construction. So it is reducing the thickness and the overall steel consumption without compensating on the strength. As Hemantji has also touched upon SAR gas, I'd like to add to that. SAR gas, although only 1 or 2 steel makers have a limited capacity to make these kind of steels, we are also investing in R&D. Apart from SAR gas, API line pipe steels, we are also working in our R&D to develop pipelines to transport hydrogen. So considering renewables in the coming years, so there will be definitely a push to move from fossil fuels to hydrogen. So we are working in our R&D also with our customers, 1 or 2 customers, to develop pipes for transportation of hydrogen.
And it is more fuel efficient, so they are demanding because their customers are demanding. So I think weight reduction, strength increase is something which I agree would be required. One point I would like to add, in addition to what my colleagues just mentioned, is the aesthetics. See, if we have to popularize steel, again coming back to our original topic, if we have to popularize steel, we should also be mindful of the aesthetics. The customer should feel appealed to use the material, particularly the color coated steel, PPGI steel. What we see in Europe, the larger buildings, even small households, They are using the PPGI sandwich panels, roofing and clean rooms, and they are using different colors. While in India largely we are limited to blue and white. So there would be immediate, I would see as the economy grows, per capita grows, people will be looking for choices. They would be asking for wrinkle finish paint, maybe a cool roof which can help them to keep the temperature in control, which can consume less energy if they heat up or if they use air conditioning. The paint should last for years. They don't have to bother about color fading. मेरे पड़ोसी का छत मुझसे ज़्यादा चमकदार क्यों? So we have to see all these aspects if we want to popularize these kind of steel. Otherwise, technically it's like operation successful, patient died. So if we make a product which doesn't appeal to a customer, then I think we are making a mistake. So keeping customer in mind, aesthetic is one of the important factor which usually we don't talk about, but I wanted to add. Thank you.
Quantum is increasing day by day. This is one segment which has really taken the quantities on a high pedestal as regards to stainless steel is concerned. Which are the other segments where you feel that stainless steel demand will grow in the next 6 to 7 years?
Thank you for asking this question. And Angad, thanks to you for using the word corrosion resistant, which somehow got underplayed in this session so far. Empirically, many of us know that corrosion is eroding about 4% of the world economy. So this innocuous 4% is one Germany getting evaporated at the world level. If I see American economy, 3 apples or 2 walnuts, they evaporate. So corrosion is the menace. I strongly believe that again it plays a very, very important part in that sustainable solution. So wagon is one example. Railway bridges are another example for the different versatile applications and characteristics which the stainless steel provide. If I talk about wagon, for the carrying the material like coal, ore, then you need a material which can withstand that abrasive resistance. And also they are open wagons, they operate in different climatic conditions. So this looks to be the right choice. Similarly, in case of FOBs, we would not like to remember the Bhayandar mishap which happened about 6 years back. Such public utility services are such that we cannot afford कि इसको रोक दिया जाए, फिर रिपेयर किया जाए और फिर rebuild किया जाए. So there is a sensitization that we must have those solutions which last forever. To give this push once again on the life and life cycle costing, we have started an initiative in February this year itself to enhance the nation's mission on war against corrosion. We got into an MOU with CII itself, being led by CII Chandigarh, wherein we are trying to find the solutions among the possibilities like metal/material sciences. Solution could be a coating also, solution could be a surface treatment also, but solution has to be life cycle based. And it has got the blessings of Ministry of Steel and also Niti Aayog. In fact, just on Tuesday, today is Thursday, there was a wonderful first competition pan-India wherein 62 entries were there covering 10 categories of awards represented by from 45 companies, and all the companies sitting here and many or among you had presented their case studies. So I think this is an important moment wherein at pan-India level solutions will come without we realizing कि अरे ये भी बन सकता था, only because we need long-term fixes. So these are two examples. You talked about the marine part. I strongly believe for this RE energy specifically, we are going to move towards the energy of waves. That is going to be a huge source of RE generation, and there also we will be needing those materials which can withstand the high corrosive environment in the oceans. To me, next few years are going to be the golden years for the steel and stainless steel. The only concern is demand तो बढ़ जाएगी. Will Indian stainless steel industry will supply that or China? I come back to the level playing field. Thank you.
New sector steel, because we feel that these segments are the growth drivers today, in addition to the infra segment where already our presence is there. As far as the wind energy is concerned, we feel that in 500 megawatt by 2030 target of the government of India, if the Indian steel industry is not able to take the advantage, the other steel industry will take the advantage of the situation. So it is of paramount importance for every one of us to work towards the growing segments, to meet the requirement of those segments and invest in those segments wherein we can have the domestic supplies and displace the imports. So in electrical steel, we have been expanding in CRNO as well as CRNGO both. We are expanding in automotive grade, we are expanding in windmill. At JSW, we have been observing one typical phenomena, and I am sure that every one of you also will agree, that most of the times we are the followers. As Indian steel industry, we are following the great developments. In the sense that the developed countries develop some grades, then they charge a very high premium for 4, 5, 6 years. After that, they start selling the licenses to us at a cost, and the cost of license that they receive, the revenue that receive, they use it for the another R&D. By the time we learn those technologies and develop those technologies, they shift to the new product. So this is a vicious cycle which is there, which needs to be broken today. And unless India as a country comes up with the path-breaking products, which is disruptive in nature, and say that we have this product which the world has not seen, we would not be in a position to acquire the leading position, in spite of the fact that we are world's second largest steel producer. We have a 7.5% times ratio between the largest and the second largest. Unless we go for a disruptive product and sell, we would not be leading the world, and this is need of the hour. We, all of us, should put the efforts in one direction to create some of the disruptive products which can fetch the premium for next 7-10 years, and we can acquire a path which is disruptive product path. The way ISRO has done, DRDO has done, they came out with some of the products which were not seen by the world.
स्टील एक किसी भी देश को विकासशील से अगर विकसित देश में अगर उसको बदलना है तो उसके लिए जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, जो आपको कंस्ट्रक्शन, उसके लिए जो सबसे बेसिक जो मटेरियल है वो स्टील होता है। और औद्योगिक क्रांति के लिए जो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण जो तत्व रहा है वो स्टील रहा है। इंडिया के अंदर स्टील की ग्रोथ बहुत अच्छी है। गवर्नमेंट ने जो पॉलिसी सपोर्ट दिया है, जो PLI स्कीम दिया है, उससे काफ़ी इन्वेस्टमेंट्स इंडिया में हो रहे हैं, FDI हो रहे हैं। गवर्नमेंट ने प्रधानमंत्री घर घर योजना जो किया है, हर घर जल, हर घर पे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, आपको जो पाइप्ड गैस है, ये सारे जो प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं इनसे स्टील की डिमांड को बड़ा बल मिला है। और जो इंडिया के प्रोड्यूसर्स हैं वो आज नामी प्रोड्यूसर्स हैं, अच्छा क्वालिटी का स्टील बना रहे हैं, वो देश की जो स्टील की डिमांड है उसको पूरा करने में सक्षम है। इसलिए आज इंडिया में ही नहीं, आज इंडिया से बाहर हम एक्सपोर्ट भी काफ़ी स्टील हो रहा है। और जो आप देखेंगे दूसरे देश, जो चाइना खासकर है, उन्होंने जो दुनिया में एक्सपोर्ट किया है उसमें उन लोगों का क्वालिटी के लिए नाम नहीं जाना जाता है। लेकिन उसके उलट आज जो भारत एक्सपोर्ट कर रहा है, भारत एक क्वालिटी स्टील प्रोड्यूसर के और एक्सपोर्टर के नाम से जाना जा रहा है। काफ़ी हम लोग नए ग्रेड्स डेवलप कर रहे हैं, काफ़ी नए सेगमेंट्स हैं, जैसे कि रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी है, सोलर है, विंड पावर है, जो कि बहुत ऑफशोर और ऑनशोर सेगमेंट्स में हम लोग रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी में स्टील का उपयोग हो रहा है। उसके लिए हाई जिंक कोटिंग जो हम लोग स्टील बना रहे हैं, हाई स्ट्रेंथ का मटेरियल बना रहे हैं।
हाउसिंग सेक्टर है वो सब 10 to 15% ग्रीन स्टील उनके लिए मैंडेटरी हो जाएगा कि ग्रीन स्टील वो परचेज करें, तो उससे मेरे लिए एक मार्केट खुलेगा। तो मैं मोटिवेट होऊंगा कि मैं ग्रीन स्टील बनाऊँ। गवर्नमेंट इंसेंटिवाइज करने की भी सोच रही है, जैसे कैपेक्स है, अगर मेरा कुछ एक्स्ट्रा इन्वेस्टमेंट हो रहा है तो गवर्नमेंट उसको सॉफ्ट फंडिंग करे। ये स्टील प्रोड्यूसर की डिमांड है, गवर्नमेंट उस पर सोच रही है।